Good afternoon once again. Today, we'll be talking about constants and a little bit of operators. Okay, sorry. So we'll be talking about constants and operators. Okay, so let me open um, my file. So we created a variable. Let me create a new file rather. So file, new file. Then I'll save it. So first, I need to save it in my local host. So example htdocs. Then I'll save it as constant.php. Okay, so I begin a PHP document with less than PHP, then a closing question mark. So let's do a little recap of what we did yesterday. So yesterday we talked about um, variables. So we said variables is a way of storing our information during the execution of our program. So we learned that in creating a variable in PHP, we use the dollar sign, then the name of the variable. So we also learn about data types. We talked about the string, data type, integer, float and a double, the boolean, the null and object, and also array. Good. So today we'll talk about constant. So let us begin. Um, when we talk about a constant is a name or an identifier for a simple value. It's an identifier or a name for a simple value. Okay, so when you create a constant, it's just similar like a variable. But this time around, constants does not change during the execution of our PHP script. Unlike the variable that we create like this, maybe and use assign maybe 5 to it. During the process, we can change this same variable and assign 8 to it. And with constant, you can't change it. Okay, so in creating a constant, it's similar like it has the same rule like the creation of variable. We can begin it with an underscore or an alphabet, but we can't begin with a number or any special character like this and the rest. So let's try to see how we can create a variable. Okay. So in creating a constant, we use the keyword define. So when I say a keyword, meaning is the syntax of a PHP. It's embedded inside. So we use the keyword define. Then this bracket, then the name of the constant that you want to create. Then the value or what you want to put, you want to store inside, like this. Then semicolon. So we've defined a constant like this. So we can call the constant by the name, or we can use the keyword constant, then the name inside to call the constant that we've created. Please hope you've understood. Or am I moving fast?
Can you go over it again, please? From the define.
Okay. Please, can you repeat what you said?
Yeah, can you go over it from the define?
Okay. I said before we can create a constant, we use the keyword define, which is embedded in the PHP, like this. Then bracket. So within this bracket, it takes two parameters. When I talk
Okay.
about parameter, it's not rich function. So maybe please spare me with this term parameters. So the first one, then comma, then the second one. So the first one is the name of the constant that you want to create. Then the second one is the value that you want to store inside that constant. So I stored 50, then the semicolon. So I can create this integer in it. So I can create a string constant like this. Then name, then I'll store a string like this. Please hope you understood. We can call the a constant that is introducing that the name. So unlike the variable that we created, that we have to proceed with the dollar sign. With constant, we just call the name straight away, just like this. And constant two is case sensitive. So assuming I create a constant name like this and I create another one, after they're different altogether. Let's move to PHP script then. Try to create a constant. Then we will run to see the outcome. So we use the keyword define like this. Sorry, define, then the name and the value. So this time around, come again. So the name, then the value. So maybe here I'll store 50 in it, then semicolon like this. So I can call the constant. So I can call the constant by using either name like this or the keyword constant, then name. Sorry, like this. So this is how we can call constant. So let me try to display the constant on the screen for us to see. So I'll echo it out. Echo, then the constant name. So name like this. Or I can choose to use echo, then constant, then name like this. So I'll save it, then move to my browser and display it. So I'll open my browser. Um, okay. Okay, so I want to run my PHP script. I use the local host with a forward slash, then constant dot php. So warning, constant couldn't find constant 50.
Labraka.
Okay. Okay, so we have this 50 here, which is the first one. For the second one, it's giving us a warning that constant could not find. Um, well, sorry, I made a little mistake. I should have put it in the double quote to save. Then, so we have 50, then 50. So this is how we can display it. And mind you, constant does not change in any of the program. So while we run, we cannot change it. It will be always 50. So some differences between constant and variable. As I already said, uh, variables need to begin with the dollar sign, but with constant, we just ignore the dollar sign. Then we write the name straight away. And again, variable too, we can change the information that we've stored inside, but we can't change the information that we store inside the constant. Okay, so hope you've understood the constant very well. Please hope you've understood. Or is there any question?
No, it's understood.
Okay, so um, let's quickly move to operators. let's quickly move to operators and how we can deal with operators. So, um, let me try to use this simple this thing to explain what an operator is. So supposing I have this simple expression 2 plus 2 like this is equal to maybe 4. Let me use this simple expression to explain what operator is. This here is what we call the operator. That's the plus sign. It's called what? The operator. And these two and these two is what we refer to as the operands. So these two is an operand. Let me print the figure. So this 5 is an operand, and this 2 is also an operand. And the plus is called the operator. So we have different um, types of operators. So today we'll discuss only one. So let me mention some of the various types. We have the arithmetic operator. So that's one. Then we have the comparison operator. Then we have um, logical, or someone may say relational operators. They are all the same. Then we have the assignment operators. Then we have the conditional operators. So today we will talk about the arithmetic operators. We'll talk about the arithmetic operators. So in PHP, when we talk of arithmetic operators, these are the basic operations in math. Someone will say the addition, subtraction, um, multiplication, division, and we have something like the incremental and the decrement like this. So these are the basic arithmetic um, operators that we have. So the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, incremental, and then the decremental operators. So let's try to use them a little bit. So we'll start from the addition. So pardon me to comment the first one. So I want to use a multi-line commenting. I'll use the forward slash with an asterisk. Then where I want to end the comment, so asterisk then forward slash again. I've commented it. So we want to create a variable with a type of an integer. So dollar sign Then let me create a first variable as maybe a. Let me assign an integer to it, so maybe 10. And let me create another variable b, and let me put 20 inside. So let's begin with the first arithmetic operator, that's the addition. So we can say that let's create a new variable c is equal to the first variable a plus variable b, like this. So this will add a and b, and it will store inside c. So these are the operators, and this is an operand. These are operands. So it will add this and this and store it inside the C. So now we can now display C like this. So I'll store it, then move to my browser, then refresh. So let me increase the page size. So we can see we have 30. We add A and B and store it inside C. So echo. Okay. So I want to comment this one. All right, let me change it. So we then move to the subtraction. Okay, so now I'll use the subtraction. Okay, so we have the variable A and variable B. So we should subtract variable B from A and store the answer in variable C. And we have variable B to be 20, then A 10. So meaning you have negative 10 for our answer. So and display it. So we have negative 10 as our answer. So let's move to the multiplication. So in programming, you use the asterisk sign to represent multiplication. So let me save it again. We should multiply variable A and B. And so we have 200. That's 10 multiplied by 20. Then we move to, please, am I moving fast or it's okay? Hello. Okay, so let's quickly move to the division. So with the forward slash, dividing A by B. So I'll save it once again. Then refresh my browser. So I have 0.5
Oh,
answer.
division. Yeah, multiplication. Wow.
Okay. So um we're done with the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So let's move to the modulo. So in programming, we use the percentage sign to represent modulo. That's remainder. Remainder. So use the percentage sign to create a modulo. So save it once again, then refresh my browser.
Hey.
So we have 10. So this takes the um, integer. It takes the integer aspect. So now let's move to the increment. So increment simply means we should add it by 1, depending on how we do it. So for example, um, let me comment this and then this. Oh, sorry. So we have A, and we want to increase it by a certain number. So I'll use the dollar sign A, then baby plus plus to mean it should increase by 1. So we have A here, which is 10. And at this point, we said A should increase by 1. That's the plus plus, what it means. So we can echo it out. See what we have. So we have, so you can see we still have 10. Let's go back. I'll come back and explain what happened at that time. Let me try to echo A again at this point. Save it. Then we now have 11. What happened initially was that this came before the A. So it will display the 10 for us and later increase A by 1. So see, to display it like this, we could have used the echo instead of the plus plus to be at this place. We can have it at this place. This time around, increase it by 1, then display. We have 11. We can use it some part of our program. Maybe we want it to increase then display, or it should display then later on increase based on what we want. So we can use the same thing. So we can use A then to increase it by 5. So this time around it will increase, it will display 10, then later add the 5.
Right. Right.
So we have our answer is 10 like this. So this is the increment, and to have want to decrease it, then use the minus minus, which means it should decrease by 1. So I'll save it. Then refresh. So we have a decrement of 1. Okay. we are done with the arithmetic operators. So let's try to do something small with it. Okay. So assuming I have a variable c,
Eka, ade,
and I write an expression like
ade.
7 plus 3
Okay.
multiplied by
Yeah.
2, like this. In the normal sense, someone will add the 7 to 3 in a step,
That one.
then multiply it by 2. But um, in computer programming, we have something like the board mass, the pandas, and the rest. So same
Ade
apply
dia aduane no mo yes.
whether
Ade.
we have the multiplication to be at the second or the latter part, which the addition comes before the multiplication, but it will still multiply this first, the 3 by 2, then add it to the 7. So instead of us to
Now what
the
do?
answer to be 20, this time around it will give
I
us
would
13.
6.
Instead of adding the 7 to the 3 and multiplying by 2,
need to
first
say number.
tackle this one first, then
Just say number.
it will move,
What is maybe?
then add it to 7, giving us 13. So let me try to echo
Yes, I'm over the power.
C out for us to see. So
And I'm say
if then refresh.
okay.
So we have 13 instead of 20.
All right, no problem.
So it's used the order of precedence in
44.
dealing with some of the arithmetic operations. So, okay, you can use this to write simple um, code that will do um, some basic addition and subtraction for us. So with PHP, we can do our simple calculations and the rest. So let's tackle the last. Let's tackle the other part. So let's go to the comparison operator, and I think it will be enough for today. So we'll tackle the comparison operator. So with the comparison operator, we can check if two numbers or variables are the same. So the comparison
Huh?
operators, we can check if they are equal, and we can check if it's not equal. So this is if they are equal, we can check. If you want to check if they are equal, we use this sign, double equal to check if they are equal. And if you want to check, we use to check if they are not equal, we use the not, that's the exclamation sign, equal to check if they are not
Go and put it up.
equal to. And we can check if they are greater than, if two variables, one is greater than or the other. So we can check for greater than, less than. And also we can check if it is greater than or equal to. So if you want to check if they are greater than or equal to, we use this program. We don't have the greater than then the bar, right? So we use the greater than and equal to check if something is greater than or equal to something. The same as compared to, we can check if something is less than or equal to something. So these are the comparison operators that we have. So the same variables that we created, we are trying to check if so. Spare me to use conditions. We have conditional statements. We move to that one. Um, I think on Monday or so. After we are done with the operators, the comparison that's for making decision. So spare me to use it for now. So I want to use one of it, which is the if statement. So use the if statement to check, and we have the else part. So if something is true, perform this task, or else do this. So first, we have um, variable a and b, which a is 10 and b is 20. So we can check if the variable a is equal to variable b. If they are equal, then I can say that maybe echo or display that maybe they are the same, like this. Else, if they are not the same, then you can display they are not the same, like this. So I'll save it, then refresh my browser. So we have they are not the same, which falls in the else part, meaning A and B are not the same, which we strictly agree that 10 is not equal to 20. Okay. So we can do the reverse. We can check if A is not equal to B. So I'll take off one, then bring the exclamation sign to check if A is not equal to B. So if A is not equal to B, what then do you want us to do? We can say um, that A is not equal to B, else we can say they are the same. If it is not equal to, then they are the same. So let me try to save it. Then refresh. So we have A is not equal to B. So let's move to the please hope I'm not moving that all that fast.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. So we can check if variable A is less than B. For now, you may not appreciate this, but in our future work, we may need all of these comparison operators very well. We may need them in making decisions. So if A is less than B, then we can say that um, A is less than B, else B is greater than A, like this. So if A is less than B, you have this information being displayed on our web page. Else Then you have this part being displayed on our web page. So I'll save it, move to my browser, then refresh. So we have A is less than B, which we all agree that 10 is less than B. So supposing we have B to be this at this time and A to be at this time. So we can say that if B is greater than A, we can say that B is greater than A, or A the same, A is less than B. Um, if B is less than A, then display that B is less than A, else A is greater than B. So save, refresh. We have A is greater than B. Let's check. Oh, that. So if B is less than A, we should display this part. Else, meaning if, okay, so I made a mistake in my, so if,
I made a mistake.
so it's like if B is less than A, meaning we should display that B is less than A. And if else, the else part, meaning B is rather greater than, we should display at this place A is less than B, else B is greater than A. That was what it is supposed to do. So the same as the sign goes to the greater than sign. Okay. So let's move to the other part, which is um, maybe greater than or equal to. So if um, B is greater than or equal to A, maybe you may want to display that they are the same, else they are not the same, like this. So save, refresh. They are the same. Oh, it's either they are the same or B is greater than A, or else they are not the same. A is greater than
Oh,
B. So this means that either the same or B is greater than A. So let me try to make change. So assuming we have B to be 9, our statement, we say if B is greater than or equal to A, it should display this. So this time around, we have B to be 9, which is less than A. So you have the else part being displayed. Please hope you understand. Please hope you understand.
Yes, understood.
Okay. So I think we can close for today, and maybe you can try in your various try to understand how the operators work. So let's try to summarize what um,
Hello.
we did today. Or is there any question?
My question is that when I try to display, my it's not displaying.
Yours is not
Can
this.
I?
Um, have you start your exam control? Is your
Yeah,
exam
my exam.
is
Yeah,
running?
it's on. Apache is on.
Okay, then please you can share your screen.
Okay. Can I share my screen now?
You can share your screen.
I say that host disable participant sharing screen. Hello.
Okay.
Hello?
It says that host disabled participant sharing.
Sorry?
Uh, you can now share. Share the screen.
Okay. Okay, this is my Sublime. So right now, I've saved this file inside the HT doc.
Okay.
Yeah, I save it at constant.php. So I went in there and I right click and I open it with Google browser.
Google Chrome. Hmm. Seems the screen is not appearing well at my end here. I don't know. It's only me that I'm not seeing it well.
Okay, let me reshare the screen again. Can you see?
Still the same.
Seriously. Okay. So
Can you please increase the size of the? Can you maximize the Sublime test? Oh,
okay, let me maximize it. I maximize it already.
okay. I can't see it.
Maximize.
I've seen it, but I can't read what is showing. Okay, I think it's now.
Okay, let me see whether I can maximize. How would I do that? View,
You can use the control and plus sign to increase it.
control. Oh, okay.
Okay, it's okay. So you
So
want to
now,
display the constant.
yes.
So we use the echo it out. So echo then constant, just like this. So you have to add echo to it to display.
Save it. So my problem is that now that I've saved it, so if I'm going to upload this on the in good
Refresh your browser.
in the browser, will I just go to the HT
The previous one
dot?
that you've opened in your browser. Just refresh it.
Okay.
I can see your
And there
browser.
you open a lot of browsers.
And you refresh it. So you see 2020.
Because I'm not seeing anything in the browser. Now the browser is me file slash file semicolon 3/C double colon
So
forward slash.
clear that part up to the local host, the HT docs, and type localhost.
Okay.
So you have localhost, then /, then the name of the file .php.
Okay. Oh, that's come. That's come. That's come. It is working. I see. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome. Please, is there any question? If there is no question, then I would like to summarize what we did today. So today we learned about constant, how we can create constant. So we found out that we can use the define keyword. Then you pass through two parameters, which the first one is the name of the constant that you want to create. The name of the constant that you want to create. Then the second one is the value that you want to pass. So value. Then you end it with your semicolon. And we found out that we can call the constant by the name or using the keyword constant, then double quote, then the name of the constant. So we can call constant with this keyword constant. And we also learn about operators. We found out what an operand is and what operators are. So we found out that the basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, and the rest are forms of operators. And we came across, we have types of operators. We have the arithmetic operators, comparison operators, logical operators, assignment operators, and then the conditional operators. And we discussed arithmetic operators and then the comparison operators. We came across that the arithmetic operators are the one that have the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and the increment and decrement, and then the modulo. We came across that the modulo in programming we use the percentage sign. That's in PHP, we use the percentage sign to represent modulo. And we came across the comparison operators, and we saw that
18 years old.
we can compare two variables using the you can equal to or not equal to. Then we came across the less than, that's the greater than, and we have the less than or equal to, greater than or equal to sign. How we can do comparison. So this is basically what we learned today.
Oh, okay.
Hope you meet on Monday to continue on the rest of the operators. If there is no question, then I would like to close for today.
There is no question. And
Okay,
thanks a lot for your time.
okay. Too for joining me. Goodbye.